People, we are Tottenham TV, and yeah, I guess you know we haven't been around of late, and you would have seen by now the social media posts about my grandpa. Unfortunately, it's with a heavy heart that we have to say that he has passed away. As you can see, we've brought his t-shirt in. Fucking love Grandad. He was a guy that was, you know, adored by a lot of you guys out there. Many of you guys probably liked him a lot more than us. You know, have been around on the channel since the very beginning. And yeah, guys, it is a really hard one. And obviously it was the funeral yesterday, and we've just been blown away by the amount of you guys that have sent messages of support, sent messages about Grandpa. I mean, just to give you the sheer numbers of it, just to show you what an impact he made on a lot of people's lives, just in the Tottenham community, let alone everything outside of it. Instagram, 5,000 likes, 400 comments. X, 4,000 likes, 500 comments. Facebook, 700 likes, 200 comments. YouTube, 3,000 likes, 700 comments, which is a grand total of 13,000 likes and 1,800 comments. So the Tottenham community, the We Are Tottenham army, have really pulled through and got together and shown us such love, shown Grandpa such love, and the love that, you know, that he's really deserved.
And it's the love that he's always spread, that positivity.
Absolutely.
And I just want to say as well, the family, they wanted me to say that they've just been so unbelievably moved by just the messages of love and support that all the fans, all you out there, have been sending through. The community has been unbelievable over the past 24 hours after hearing this news, and some of the messages, the stories of how people got introduced to Grandpa and how they've really been touched by him during his time on the channel, and you know, how he's expressed himself and how people have taken to that. The family have been it's really helped them during this very, very difficult time for everyone. And yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for all those messages that you've given to us. It's been really, really mind-blowing, and it's been incredible. I know my grandpa, he saw a lot of the messages when you know, he was sick, and you were sending them through, and it meant a lot to him. It meant so much to him, knowing that there was so much love and support out there for him. And it's something that I know right now he'll be looking down and he'll deeply appreciate. And actually, yeah, my grandpa was such an amazing person. I'm going to miss him every day. The most empathetic, loving, positive, I think that came through on the videos that we had together. And he was there from day one. I think on the first video on the channel, he was there, and I think people fell in love with him straight away and saw why we as a family were so in love with him, and that came through. And he always wanted to spread his positivity, no matter the result, no matter the circumstance. And that was something that was only a little bit of what you saw in the videos, which is what he was like throughout his whole life. And that's the reality. He was always like that as a person, not just with football, but with family, with business, with life, with relationships. Always looking for positives, always looking for ways forward, always looking for how to improve things. And that was just his nature. And I think it's amazing the amount of people who have really understood that, I think, looking at the messages that have come through. And it's a beautiful thing. It really is such a beautiful thing. And yeah, I just want to say thank you for everyone for their support at the moment.
Absolutely. I mean, I couldn't put it better myself. He was a guy that was just loved universally by everyone that he came in contact with. And, you know, just yesterday at the funeral, just seeing how many people were there, you know, and you know, hardly, well, pretty much no one from the Tottenham community there. We were talking about hundreds of people that were at his funeral yesterday, and it's just, you know, just a testament to him, of how much, you know, how many lives he touched and how many lives he helped. And he was always there to give a helping hand, and always there to offer his words of wisdom, words of advice. And he never shirked away from that. I mean, there was probably only one time in my life where he was actually speechless and didn't know what to say. And that was back in, I was about 7-8 years old on the terraces at White Hart Lane. And you know how fans can be to referees and everything like that. And so the fans were singing, "The referee's a wanker, the referee's a wanker." And I turned around to him and I go, quite innocently, and I go, "Grandpa, what's a wanker?" And he turned around to me, he goes, "I think you better ask your dad." So, I mean, that was probably the only time that he was pretty much speechless, but he always knew the right thing to say at the right time.
He had a way with words.
Yeah, definitely. And just a way with helping people. And yeah, we're going to miss him dearly. I think you could see what our kind of relationship was with him throughout, you know, the last 7 years, 8 years of making content. So I don't think it's just us that's going to miss him. I think, you know, obviously the whole family, that goes without saying, but I think a lot of people watching us throughout the years are going to miss him too, and the positive impact that he had on all the videos that he came across. So, and
he was the channel's #1 fan.
Yeah,
he absolutely was from day one.
So proud.
He was. He couldn't have been prouder with the community that we've built and the platform that we have. And he was always so supportive of it from the first day. He always wanted to be involved. He always wanted to be a part of it. And that was always something that made this whole thing so special to us. The fact that we had our grandpa there that we love so very much, and he always wanted to be a big part of it. And he became the star of the show, especially at the beginning. He was the person that probably helped this channel grow more than anyone near the start, because people really just fell in love with his infectious positivity and his infectious nature. And I think people just really related to the relationship us three had on camera, and people saw, I think, themselves, because I think it's a story that I think many people share, you know, going to football, having that bond over football. Exactly, you know, going with a dad or a granddad like we were going with. And I think people really took to that and related to that. And I think my grandpa, how he was on the videos, I think that was just what made this whole thing extra special. And, you know, obviously, you know, moving forward, he's always going to leave a massive legacy on this channel. In terms of how we are as people, in terms of the community we've built, he's just been a major part of that. And yeah, well, you know, I don't think anyone will ever forget that. I have a story of when I remember just talking about how amazing he is as a person when just the last time we went to a cup final back in 2008 February, the last time we won a trophy. You know, obviously that's a day that still holds dear to everyone, but I remember when we beat Arsenal obviously in the semi-final, and I think I wasn't a season ticket holder at the time, but you and Ben and Grandpa, I don't know if they were season ticket holders, but they had, you know, memberships with a lot more points than I did, and they were able to get tickets for the final. And I was, you know, tickets were gold dust back then. I was scrambling around looking for a ticket for the final, and looking like for weeks and weeks between the semi-final and the final. And I just wasn't able to get one. I wasn't able to find one. It was you know, super impossible. And my grandpa was obviously helping me look. And one day, obviously, I went over to visit them. Just, you know, we were having lunch and whatever. And my grandpa said, you know, have you found a ticket for the final yet? And I was like, no, you know, I'm still looking. He goes, oh, don't worry, I found you one. I was like, oh, right, you found me one? He goes, yeah. He said, yeah, you could have my ticket. And he gave me his ticket. And I was like, no, you can't give me your ticket. He goes, no. He said he'll give me more pleasure knowing that you're at the final than me going. And that's what he said. And I ended up going, and obviously that was the last time we won a trophy, 16 years ago. And, you know, I obviously never forget that. And he was the one that made that possible.
You know, people actually don't know this because they see our grandpa and they see how into Spurs he is and into Spurs that we are. But when we were really young, growing up, like, he wasn't even that much into football. He was into cricket, he was into rugby, and even like at the beginning when we first started going to Spurs, he had to buy a program and matched up the names with the numbers because he didn't know who the players were. Like, he wasn't a massive football fan, and he got into football just to spend time with us, really. That's why he got into football.
Yeah.
And then he ended up being one of the biggest Spurs fans going, pretty much, where he didn't want to miss a game for love nor money. And, you know, me and him, we used to go travelling the lengths and breadths of this country. I remember going to Wigan with him, the 3-3 game, missing a few goals in the making, Portsmouth. Like, we used to go up and down the country together, and that's just how much family meant to him, and how much he wanted to spend time with us, where, you know, he literally became the biggest Spurs fan, not because he loved football, because he loved us so much and he loved his family so much. And then, you know, that formed his bond with football. He ended up loving football a lot off the back of that. But his initial bond with football was us. You know, it wasn't actually the game.
Yeah, exactly. And that's also what made everything so extra special, going to football with him, building that bond over many, many years. And that was the person he was. If it meant becoming the biggest Spurs fan ever and becoming obsessed with Spurs to spend more time with his grandkids, and that's what he would do. And he would do that for all his grandkids. Always found something special to bond with them over, and that is what, you know, obviously we as young boys growing up, we became obsessed with Tottenham, and that's what we lived and breathed. And he thought the best way I can build a bond with them and I can spend time with them is to become as mad about Spurs as they are, and that's exactly what he did. Yeah. And it's just so special.
But I think really it's important to note as well, like, as much as we are kind of mourning the loss right now, he wouldn't want it this way. He would want us to celebrate his life. You know, that's how much of a positive man he was. You know, he just wants celebration, positivity, and he wouldn't want the channel to stop. You know, he loved the channel so much. He just wants things to keep on rolling, make the channel. He had so much love for the, like, I can't stress it enough, like how much love and pride he took in the channel. And I think it's just going to make us strive to be, you know, bigger and better and keep doing things, and we're going to do it in his honour.
Well, one of his very key life lessons he's instilled, he tried to instill in me, and I think a lot of the family, is his very heartfelt belief that when you stop work, that's when you die. That's what he really believed in. He never stopped working pretty much until the day he died. Literally. He was always looking, even when obviously retired from business and things like that, he went into life coaching and always looking to help people. And up until pretty much, you know, a week or two before he passed away, he was still coaching people and still trying to help them improve their lives and still trying to help them see better pathways and, have a better future. And he always said that was one of his, life lessons. Was his belief: when you stop work, that's when you die, because that's when you lose purpose. And that was what he has instilled in us. And, you know, as much as it's been such a very, very tough few days for the family and for us in particular, it's important that we carry this on, and that's exactly what he would have wanted. That's exactly the way he would have wanted us to move forward and honour him, I think.
And his legacy will always live on, particularly on this channel as well, through us, through the family, outside of the channel as well. You know, from all my cousins, my brothers, my sisters, my parents, my aunties, my uncles. His legacy is going to live on through all of us, my grandma, you know. So, like my brother said, as much as these days have been really hard, you know, even last week, you know, where he could, you know, barely say a word, really, he was asking me, have Spurs signed anyone yet? You know, predicting wins, even though where we couldn't see a win round the corner. And definitely he was shining down on the team yesterday, that's for sure.
Absolutely. And something that I think a great friend of ours, Brian Daigle's, texted me yesterday, and it definitely rings true. He said, you really won the lottery with the grandpa that you had.
That's definitely true. And
I think that was a beautiful way of putting it, and I couldn't put it better myself, I think, than Brian. Absolutely spot on. And he's obviously, Brian's met him more than multiple occasions. He knows what a great man he is, and I couldn't put it better myself. We absolutely probably won more than one lottery, and we've been dining on those winnings ever since I was born, I think it's fair to say.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. So I can see a lot of messages coming into the live chat about Grandpa and support for us and the family. So I just like to thank you guys out there so much. Just the sheer number and volume of people that have got in contact and interacted with us since we put out that post at 6 p.m. yesterday. It's been mind-blowing. It really has. So we're going to keep going. In the famous words of Ange Postecoglou, we never stop. And
Grandpa was always Ange.
Exactly. Grandpa was always Ange. And that was, as much as those words weren't his motto, the idea of it was his motto.
Definitely.
So, yeah, once again, just thank you all out there. I just want to get into some of these messages as well, just before we move on. SMCCC said, sending love and support from across the pond. Love you, lads, and thank you for everything you've done for this club and community. Come on, you Spurs. Thank you. George Orton says, rest in peace, Grandpa Brian, true icon and legend of the channel. Sending love and wishes from my family to yours, boys. Need to do a minute's applause for him. And I have seen a couple. I mean, if it is possible to get something like that going for the Man United game, I know it's something that he would have absolutely loved, because he loved being known,
Yeah.
He just loved it, even from being recognised in the street, even in the latter stage in the last couple of years with the various hospital visits. He used to get recognised by like workers in the hospital and stuff like that, and he always used to love it.
Yeah, he used to blow him away. He used to really put a big smile on his face. People coming up to him in the street, recognising him or wherever it was. So if we could somehow sort that out, that would be incredible. Obviously, there's a bit of a break now before that game, so maybe we can try and sort it. It'll be difficult to coordinate, but we'll try our best. We'll try our best. All the help we can use, all the help we can get if we're trying to organise something like that.
Brian Daigle says he was a wonderful man and his love for you both was clear to see. A great man I had the honour to meet. Love to all the family. Thank you, Daigle. Ben Kaufman says, may his memory be a blessing, a wonderful person. Absolutely. Adam Tolbert says, loved watching him talk. Spurs, proper fan, proper man. Absolutely. Vinicius Carrera says, Grandpa will bless all of us Tottenham fans from a better place. A lot of love for your family. GTK Studio says, hi lads, so sorry for your loss, lads, and condolences are with at this difficult time. Let's hope we get some players in too. I'm happy with Danso, but we need more support in all areas that need it. Phil P says, what is grief but love enduring? Rest in peace, Grandpa. Kate and Jimbo says, much love and hugs, Ben and Sim. Rest in peace, Grandpa Brian. The world is a worse place without him. That's definitely true. Dark Sun G says, rest in peace, Grandpa. Let's win against Liverpool and Villa. Come on, you Spurs. And Luca says, big up, boys. Thoughts and prayers go out to your family. Rest in peace, Grandpa. Come on, you Spurs.
Yeah, and if people continue sending, especially what you've been sending on social media and all those messages. I know my family have been pretty much glued to those messages because they've just been so blown away and moved by them. And any story or any interaction or anything that that you took from Grandpa, from the channel, and how he touched you or how he made you feel, or anything you took from that, and if you send those messages, I'm sure the family will see them, and if it really does help. So if you continue to send them, and I just want to say thanks for everyone to support all the messages, because it's been incredible, absolutely incredible. And even right now, 2,000 in the chat nearly, and everyone just sending so many. I wish I can get through them all. People sending so many little things and stories. It's just absolutely incredible, absolutely incredible.
But, like we said before, he would want us to move on with the channel, make it the best that it can be, and that's what we're going to do. And it is transfer deadline day today. And Grandpa did want a lot about signings in, so I guess we do have to focus on Spurs as hard as it is going to be. I mean, how do we follow up a first 20 minutes of a show than that, to be honest? But yeah, look, I think the last couple of days has definitely brought a lot of reflection. But I think it is time in the stream that we move on. But thank you so much for your words of support once again. I mean, it just means so much to me, it means so much to both us and to all the family sitting at home that's probably watching